Actors Pierre Malherbe, Rebecca Macon-Taylor, and Brent Palmer are joining me in studio. They're going to be introducing us to the Kingmakers. Hello.
Hello.
Hi there.
You're all very chipper.
Yeah.
Which is a big difference from the characters you play in the Kingmakers. They say it's a political dark comedy. What were your perceptions of the play when you first read the script? I guess we'll start with Pierre.
When we did it originally, I started months before, learning the lines, and also just reading it a few times just to work out exactly what was going on and getting used to the jargon. There's so much political jargon that's used, and it's very fast-paced dialogue. So my first impression was, how am I going to get through this? And then once the lines came, then it became a lot easier. And with Louis, who wrote, he's such a good writer and a good director as well. So he's like really great in just guiding you through it. The script, it's all in the script. One doesn't really have to find a character, as it were, because it's all there.
It was so interesting. I heard someone say afterwards in the lobby that your character is so easy to hate but so lovable at the same time.
Well, that's good. Well, the weird thing is, I try. One should always, any character one plays, even if they are completely despicable as he is, one should always try and somehow find some way to make him likable in some way. And I suppose that's my biggest challenge, is trying to do that. Because he is probably the nastiest character I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. He's the most completely different to anything I've ever played before, like on stage anyway. Completely sociopathic. It's been a great challenge, and great because it is so different.
Rebecca, what was your first impression of the play?
What does stand out about this play is the incredible writing and it's almost the rhythm that is implied by the words. It's a very fast-paced rhythm, and it's all there in the language. My impression of the character that I play, Amy, was, how do I find her motivations? Because she's a very cold, very calculated character. So to still find the humanity within that, to find out what her value system is, what motivates her. And the other thing is just a real excitement to perform it, because it is it's so witty, it's so crass, it is so these people are deliciously terrible. And there's something very exciting about watching people using language well and always having that snappy comeback. That for me was very exciting, and I was very looking forward to playing with the other actors using these words and fighting with them and winning and doing all of our skullduggery.
Skullduggery, that's my favorite word.
It's a great word. It's a great word.
It is a great word.
Brent, your character is, I think, the most human out of the three. Why don't you introduce us to him?
It's an interesting thing that you should say that Daniel is the most human. And I think it's by virtue of the fact that he's, in some ways, he has a conscience maybe, or he has this duality of certainty and uncertainty. He thinks about things, he questions, he sort of says, like, what if this, if we do this, what's going to happen? He's constantly sort of pouring through the mire of, things can go wrong if we, do this. Whereas his character, and I think Rebecca's characters are quite, they silently ponder what they're going to do, and once they've made the decision to move into action, that's what they do, and that's what the audience sees, and it's riveting to watch that. But then you see this juxtaposition of their characters and their intention of absoluteness, and then Daniel on the side kind of flailing and wanting to keep up with them and wanting to understand and say, but let's pull back a little bit, let's just wait. And they just move right along to this sort of groundbreaking ending, which is, I think, what makes it exciting is what happens, but also the fact that there's this other voice there. So Louis is very clever in having put that character in there.
Pierre, you mentioned wrapping your head around the script with so many words. Do you ever forget your lines and just go with the flow? Brett
Yeah.
is admitting to
because
it.
it happened last night. So it's like I just completely dried, and I think for about 2 beats, I was just silent, and then I needed to improvise, and then find my way back into the stream again, and then you move on. And I think Louis' writing is very exciting like that, because it's so rich that you find your way again.
You're making it sound so easy to find your way back again.
Well, we know the script.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
we've been rehearsing, and that's the in the discovery, in the rehearsal process, we also get familiar with it.
Yeah. Because it's a very difficult script to try. If you do forget your lines, it's quite difficult to try and improvise. Just to make up words to get out of it, because it is so specific. That it's like this weird mix of very formal language, but quite colloquial as well, and all the jargon. So it's I don't even want to think about.
There's a lot of great one-liners.
What's your favorite one-liner?
I think clever little beavers. I quite like that one. But my favorite line is "You out of the loop, rat fuck." That is my favorite one.
You say it with such conviction.
Which we had to change to "out of the loop, rat bastard" for something else that we we had to do a sanitized
version.
When?
A few days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
How did you do a sanitized version of that script?
with difficulty.
Quick thinking and a lot of giggles. There was a lot of laughter.
It was quite fun actually, trying to work out.
I can't even imagine that.